Says we're recording. There we go, and we are recording. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to try a couple of these. All right. I'm gonna try two. You
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
Why did the cheerleader bring a ladder to the game?
Why?
Because she wanted to take her spirit to the next level. Okay. All right. Off to a roaring start here. Okay. All right. Why don't cheerleaders ever get lost?
Why?
Because they always follow the routine. Two laughs in a row. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Let's go ahead and start the show. All right, all right. Welcome back to the Urban Academia podcast. I am your host, Jay Zilla, and I have with me the wonderful, cheerful, see what I did there? Raelynn Gates. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm very well. Thank you so much for asking. Oh, I always miss a good Tennessee accent. I'm out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so it's always a little bit like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, tell me a little bit about yourself. You can make it as short or long as possible, but what do you do as far as the extracurricular at school? And tell me, just say your name again and then tell me about what you do.
I'm Raelynn Gates. I am a junior. Yeah, a junior in high school, and I do football and comp cheer at Columbia Central.
Ugh, ugh. Listen, man, I went to Spring Hill and married a Columbia Central Lion. I still don't think I've quite forgiven myself for that. But she keeps making it hard for me to be upset because she's so wonderful. Oh,
Huh.
right. What is a comp? What's the difference between like high school cheerleader and football and basketball games and a comp cheerleader?
So football, we just cheer like on the sidelines. Same with basketball. In comp, there's like two different. There's game day and there's traditional. We are game day, and it's where you go and you compete against other teams.
Okay, so is comp like competition?
Yes.
Okay. Well, talk to me a little bit about how did you get into cheer?
Um, I'm really not sure because when I moved to Columbia, I was going to do volleyball, and then I missed out on tryouts. So then I was just like, my friend
Oh,
talked me into cheer, and so I've done it since.
good for her. Give her a shout out real quick.
Emma Kate Emma Kate Peranto.
Okay. Well, thank you for getting her into cheer. Okay. So you show up for volleyball, you end up doing the cheerleading thing. Nervous? Not nervous?
Oh, I was really nervous.
Really nervous. Did
Yes.
you have any experience before, like tumbling or anything like that?
I did tumbling at like gymnastics before.
Okay. Okay. So you did have some experience in that.
Yes.
Have you seen the movie? Oh, what is it called? Oh my goodness. Oh, why am I so old? Come on, brain. Work. Break down. Bring it on.
Yes, I have.
Oh my goodness, that's a fine. I should be coughing into the mic. Bring it on. Okay. Is it that competitive and catty?
Um, Kinda, yeah.
Really? Little politics in cheerleading. Okay. Can you tell me a story about some cattiness without, any names or anything like that? What was the issue and how was it resolved?
Um, so I guess it was my freshman year and we went to nationals and we were like as a team trying to get into a line to ride at Disney, and so some of us cut, and then the other team got mad.
Oh, wow.
I don't really know how we resolved it. I think we just left it alone and just didn't say anything back.
I like the idea of it being like, that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
My 5-year-old is like that. I don't know where he gets it from. Nothing seems to bother that kid. I've got 4 kids. My oldest girl who's 20 and my oldest boy who's 8, same personality. I mean, it is astonishing. And then my 16-year-old girl and my 5-year-old boy, same personality. So, with JJ or CL, I will say to them like, "I can't believe you did that," and it's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and they try to make it right. If I said it to my 5-year-old, he's like, "I can't believe I did that either," and then off he goes, just living his life without a care in the world. So that is very funny. Okay, so volleyball versus cheer. Volleyball versus cheer. Some of y'all kind of get this misconception that cheerleading is not a sport.
Yes.
How do you start to change that perception?
Um, I mean, to most people, it isn't a sport, but, like, you are still, like, competing against other teams. So, like football sideline and basketball sideline isn't a sport,
Uh-huh.
but, like, competition is technically a sport because we are competing against other teams.
Gotcha.
And people, like, don't say it's a sport because we we aren't in some of the rules, like TWA. Like, we don't have to follow some of them, but
Mhm. Okay, so the rules are a bit different. Are
yeah,
they more strict or more loose?
loose.
Okay. All right. So y'all can, in between cheers, smoke a cigarette, have a drink or two, right?
No.
Okay. So how often do you have to practice?
We practice, like, every day. Maybe we're off once or twice on the weekend, but that's
Mhm.
about it.
Okay. So I mean, would you is it mostly working on routines or are
Yeah,
y'all like running for all, are you
both.
lifting weights?
We do run. My coach is trying to get us into lifting this year,
Mhm.
but
Okay, get a little bit more spring in those half turns. Did I say it right?
yeah, mm,
No.
maybe
No.
we
No.
don't tumble, so
You don't tumble at all?
no,
When did that change?
when I moved.
So never tumbling, like no flips or anything like that.
No.
Man, there was a girl when I was at Spring Hill. Um, she would, I mean, everybody would show up sometimes just to watch her little routine because everybody would do something and then they would kind of make 2 lanes and then she would flip from one end of the court to the other. I mean, backflips, do, 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 right? And so they don't do that anymore?
Um, we used to. Some people still can tumble, but, like, for comp, that's not in our routine, so
Hmm.
it's like I don't have to.
Okay. Now, who comes up with all the cheer choreography or the cheer moves?
My coach or
Who's
Raelynn Skaggs.
okay? And who's your coach?
Raelynn Skaggs.
And there's their assistant somewhere.
Jennifer
Jennifer.
Forget.
There you go.
And then we
Okay.
also have, I don't know her last name, but her name's Amber.
Mhm.
She helps us with our routine, and then we go back and she, like, makes a routine, and then we fix what we need to fix to make it
Okay.
fitable for our team.
So they give you an opportunity to what do you call it? Make up own like suggest new moves. She's like, no, not really,
So,
not really. She comes up with the moves, or they come up with the moves. You guys practice and execute them.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So when you are cheerleading, okay, what's harder, nailing a routine or keeping a straight face when your friend messes up? But I'm sure y'all are perfect and there are no mess ups.
Um, Probably in the beginning, it's probably, like, nailing it, but towards the end, it's probably, like, just keeping a straight face, but most time when you're out there, you black out, so you don't really know if someone messes up until the end.
Oh, so it's like laser focus. Y'all are in the zone.
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I remember. Shouts out to Coach Jimmy Young out there at Spring Hill High School, our old basketball coach. I remember him being very upset. So we had this couch in our locker room. Okay. And I remember him being very upset. And, all of us were kind of, we weren't doing well. Okay. And we all get to the locker room, then he comes in last and he starts yelling. I mean, vein popping out of his bald head and just really like giving it to us. And he's like, complaining and we're not doing this and that. And just imagine full rage, right? And he grabs the couch. And I'm sure in his mind it was grab the couch and throw it to like shock us into being better basketball players. But the couch moved like a half an inch and it made this like "Erp" sound. And all of us were just like,
Yeah.
so, so are there ever moments where something is happening that has kind of broken that focus where y'all really have to try hard to keep a straight face?
Um, More at practice, just, like, anything, like, if she gets mad at something, like, we just gotta fix.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. Any practical jokers on the squad?
Um, Jokers. I can't really think of anyone. I feel like each person kinda is a joker at some point in time.
Uh-huh. Okay. Who is the troublemaker on the squad?
Troublemaker? Hmm. We really don't have any troublemakers, like, I guess it's 'cause, I mean, if you are a troublemaker, you probably will get kicked off the team, so
Oh, well, not like serious trouble. I mean, like,
but,
who's the
like,
practical joker? Who is,
always
the coach is trying to explain a new routine and some girl is
oh,
behind the coach, like
probably
making faces.
um, either Jayla Voigt or Addie Grace.
There's always one and y'all have
Yes.
two. That's always fun. What's the farthest you've traveled with cheer?
Orlando for nationals.
Oh, did y'all get to do like Disney World and Universal and stuff like that?
We do Disney. Hopefully, next year, we're trying to talk our coach into going to Universal, so guess
Yeah.
we'll.
I always feel like for older kids, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
I want to go just for the Harry Potter, section.
Mhm.
I think that'll be fun. And the Indiana Jones exhibit. Are you old enough to remember Indiana Jones?
No.
Oh, my heart. Oh, this is the big one. I feel it. Okay, well, I'm definitely old, but yeah, there's one scene in the first movie where he's basically an archaeologist. Um, he travels around the world and has these fights and adventures, rescuing ancient artifacts from art dealers in order to put them in museums so people can learn from them versus, a couple of rich guys keeping it to themselves. And so he's in this old ancient temple and is booby trapped. So he hears the like temple start to rumble and he sees this giant boulder. It's coming right at him and he's running and he has to outrun this boulder. He barely makes it out. But they actually recreate that at Universal. So picture just running from a giant boulder. Yeah. So okay. No, see, so Universal. I'll put in a good word for you.
Okay.
Okay. Cheerleading. Okay, because I'm sort of comparing everything to the sports that I played: baseball, football, basketball. I ran track. Ran is doing a lot of work there. I was more of a shot put uh discus guy. I did have to run the 100, once, and I did break a state record for slowest 100-meter run. Yeah, that's just between me and you. Don't tell
Okay.
everybody.
I won't tell
Okay,
no.
good, good. So when I think about things we did with football, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions along those lines.
Okay.
So nap break, right? If cheerleading had a nap break in the middle, how would you take full advantage? Or are you one of these people who are like, I don't need sleep?
I would probably take a nap.
Mm,
Probably take advantage of it, or just, like, relax if I
okay,
don't take a nap.
nice. Would you rather have pom poms made of spaghetti or wear a uniform made of glitter?
Hmm. I kinda
Hard
said
hitting questions here.
made of glitter.
A uniform made of glitter? That seems awful. Because
Yeah,
even when you're done with it, it's gonna be with you for like 12 years. You'll be
I
at
guess
your
I won't
wedding
have to have a
later.
new one.
Oh, true, true, true. Okay. So you are a junior at Columbia
Yes.
Central. I feel allergic. I feel like my throat's closing up whenever I have to say that name. Fun fact: he's not here now. Excuse me. He's not here now, but there's a guy who we graduated the same year, 2004, and he played basketball at Central.
Mhm.
And the reason why our color scheme looks the way it is because it is um, Spring Hill maroon and ugh, Columbia Central gold. Okay, and so if you notice, there's a lot more maroon than gold, so that's how I kind of stick it to him every now and then. But anyway, so you are a junior in high school. It's a
Yes.
tougher question. We got the warm up out the way. Do you ever do, I guess, adult things sort of seep into your sphere, I guess, like politics and things of that nature?
I don't think so.
Mm. So nobody's having geopolitical conversations.
Nope.
Nope.
Or not with me.
Not with you. What do y'all talk about? Like, what gets y'all upset and like, and then she said, or like, what's kind of the gossip that happens there?
Um, just other people and talking about other people, probably. Like, just drama.
Drama. Okay. Okay. Now
Other
we're getting
people's drama. 'Cause
other people's
I
drama.
don't get into drama, so
Good for you. Yeah,
I
I
just
know
listen to
you don't
others.
even watch TV. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But I
I
guess you're
watch a
what
few shows,
ooh,
but
what
just not, like, on a daily basis.
okay. What's your like guilty pleasure show? Like if you walk by the TV and it's on, you're glued.
Um, hmm. I
Mhm.
feel like it's kinda like a cartoon show, like
Really?
SpongeBob or something.
SpongeBob has been going since I was a kid, man. That's
Yes.
crazy. Crazy state power. Okay. Um, what's one of the things that I would say guardians, adults, coaches, teachers, whatever, what's one thing that we get wrong about your generation?
Um, that everyone has, like, a bad mindset about everything.
Ooh. Okay, so they look at your generation like, or we, I don't know why I said they. I'm one of them, right? So you have these what do you call it? People who are kind of cynical. We look at y'all like y'all laugh at the worst stuff ever.
Yeah.
Like I'm old, but I've been on TikTok. And there's not a tragedy that goes by without the jokes flowing, right? So talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what are we getting wrong about that? Is it like, oh my goodness, I'm raising a monster, or is it probably closer to, yeah, this is just your way of dealing with a tough subject?
I think it's more like that's just our way of dealing with, like, tough subjects. It's just, like, you make a joke about it so you don't get sad about it, I guess.
Uh-huh. Worst joke you've heard? Because I know you would never. Worst joke, or I guess memes or whatever about a serious situation that you've come across.
I'm not really sure. I
Look
don't
at you.
I
You have your
don't
lawyer behind you somewhere? Like, don't answer that. Don't answer. Plead the fifth. Don't answer that. Right. Okay, all right. I'm gonna figure a way. I'm gonna find a way. Right.
I
Ugh,
would have to think, like, forever on that. Like, I just can't think of one. I feel like they just don't stick to me, I guess.
got you. You familiar with the Luigi Mangione stuff?
No.
No. What about? Oh man, I can't think. Like I saw. Okay, I will move on from that. So one thing we get wrong is that we think y'all are cynical, right? What are
Mm,
some of the other things that we get wrong?
um, that we just don't care, I guess. Like, I mean, I
Oh,
guess some people don't care about things, but, like,
mhm,
most people do care.
okay. In my experience, most kids, because I did some coaching as well. So
Mhm.
I did like the little, Pop Warner. I don't know if y'all still have that out there. Pop Warner coaching, and then I coach high school football here. And one of the things I thought was funny is that in my experience, the people who seem to not care the most are the ones who did, in fact, care the most.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of energy they put into looking like whatever, right? Like,
Mhm.
oh, bro, I heard you and old girl broke up. It's like whatever, man.
Yeah.
But inside they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? What is it about y'all that are just like, I need to look like I don't care?
I'm not really sure, just how they deal with things, I guess.
Mm, like a defense mechanism.
Yeah. So, like, people
Okay.
don't know they care,
Okay.
not wanting to show it.
Fair enough. Fair. I mean, listen, adults do the same thing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you a secret. We have to act like nothing bothers us, and we know everything, but we're just as lost as y'all. I hope that doesn't alarm you or you out there in the audience. But there's a lot of times where two things I've learned as a parent to do is when I'm getting on with my kids, especially the little ones, very serious. And then once they go away, me and my wife usually share a little laugh because y'all are ridiculous. Okay. And every lie that you tell, we've told already. Everything that you've done that we're getting on you about, we've probably done it already and worse. So trying to keep that poker face, so y'all understand that this is serious, even though we get into our room, like my wife and I are like, I I don't understand. I don't understand why he licked the glass on the sliding door. Right. But yeah, so in my mind, all of us humans are kind of the same thing. The only thing we have is that we have more experience. And
Yes.
usually more experience brings more knowledge. And a lot of the times the advice we give is just basically us secretly telling you how we messed up and we want better for you. We're technically on the same side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about your mom.
Um,
She's like, what about her? What a horrible way to ask that. Yeah. What is something that you and her really enjoy doing together?
going shopping, going out to eat. It's kind of what we do when we are together.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
Um, Mexican food.
Okay. Well, I mean, come on. The fake Mexican food, right? Taco Bell?
No, like, full of Feliz from, like, a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do y'all have chili out there? Not like meat and beans, but like it's almost like salsa. Chili, Chile.
Is it salsa?
It looks like salsa,
I
but it's
don't
just like chopped up peppers, sauce,
maybe?
maybe. Right.
Maybe?
So out here, when I first moved out here, my wife had already lived out here. And we went to a restaurant. And one, I had never had like a burrito or a taco with like shredded steak. It was always ground beef for me. And so that was a big surprise. But the first time I sat down with her, the lady asked me if I wanted chili. I said, okay, that sounds good. And she was like, red or green? It's like literally our steak question, right? And she goes, red or green? I was like, red? I've never heard of green chili. And my wife is laughing, but I don't catch on to what's going on. So I asked for like shredded cheese and onions on top, and the lady was like, ugh. Right. And she brings me this salsa looking stuff with shredded cheese and onions on top. I was like, what is this? She was like, "Ch- chili's a salsa. It's not meat and beans. I said, well, why didn't you tell me? So that was her little practical joke when I first got out here. Mhm. So, what's the funniest thing that ever happened to you during the routine?
Um, Funniest thing that's probably just, like, messing up. Not, like, at, like, a competition, but, like, at practice, like, I just laugh about it.
Oh, okay. Stumbles, not like falls or anything.
No, just, like, stumbles or, like, just, like, forget what I was doing.
Gotcha. Oof, that sounds awful. But just like in practice, has it
Yeah.
ever happened in a competition?
My freshman year, yes.
Ooh, talk to me about that.
Um, I was so mad.
Now, did you keep going? Because I know they say the show must go on.
Yes,
Okay,
but it took me a minute
took
because
you a
that was
minute.
my first time it was, like I was doing like, my freshman year, I wasn't as confident in myself.
Mhm.
Like, I would look around and see kinda like, I was doing the right thing, but I was looking around to see if I was doing the right thing.
Right.
And, like, at nationals that year, I, like, just messed the whole end of the routine up.
Okay. Oh man, I couldn't imagine. My freshman year, I remember Coach Stone. I think he's still floating around there somewhere. He put me in a game, or he was really upset at the senior player. He put me in the game, and here's how he put me in the game. This is very old school. He grabbed me by my face mask and was like screaming to the top of his lungs, cussing me out, and you better not mess up, and sends me out there. First play ever, I trip and fall as soon as the ball is snapped. But I've got these long arms, right? And I'm a pretty big guy, right? And so when I tripped and fell, I reached out naturally to just grab something to keep myself from falling and push the guy back. When I pulled myself up, he hit the ground and I got a sack, which is just tackling the quarterback.
Yeah,
And and everybody was like, yeah. And I never stopped starting after that. Right. So my whole career is built on a lie, a fraud, I tell you. It was me, it was one of the worst mess ups ever. And I just got lucky.
yeah,
So hence the phrase, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
yeah.
Oof, that was horrible. So, okay, another goofy question. If your pom-poms had magical powers, what would they do?
Um,
You're taking these
well
questions well. I know this is like the dad questions slash dad jokes out of, HE double hockey sticks, right? But yeah, go ahead.
s like, spray, like, confetti everywhere or something.
Confetti. Magical powers. Not make yourself invisible, not give yourself like levitation powers so you can go way up in the stadium and come down. Confetti. Confetti. Raelynn, confetti. I'm gonna give you a redo. We're gonna pretend like that never happened. I'm
Okay.
leaving it in the show because I think it's adorable. But please, what's the second magical power that you would have?
Um, Make me float up to where the
You can't use my answer.
No,
You know
I'm not
what?
done yet. I'm not
Okay,
done yet. Let me float into where the, judges sit and, like, be in their spot.
producer, get her out of here. What in the world kind of answer was that? I'm offering her cosmic powers. She can do anything. Anything I tell you. Confetti. Okay. All right. All right. My producer's telling me let her back on. Be nice. Okay. Sorry about that. Float to the judges for what purpose?
Let's see, like, what they see.
To see what they see.
Like, see everything in their spur suspect their eyes. Yep, that word.
Well, we have the internet for that. I
No,
could
you
just
don't.
what? I could snap my fingers and give you literally a look at what the judges see. Just oh, look at that. Look how easy that was. See, now you have floated. You have landed to where the judges are. Maybe I'm sure they're a little bit lower. But anyway, I'll let that slide. Talk to me about this. Where am I? What is this for? What's at stake?
Okay, so this is our band dance. This is the
Okay.
beginning of our routine.
So this is something you would do when the band is out there.
Kinda, yeah. Like,
Okay.
this
What?
is, like, something you would do, like, during band, like, if the band was playing.
Okay. Now describe to me or the audience where you are.
So this is situational now, and I'm, like so you see the 2 people in the middle and the front
Uh
doing
huh.
the motions?
Uh huh.
I'm the one on so I would be on the left, I think, for everyone else.
For
Um,
everyone.
yeah,
Yeah. So we're looking at this like a regular like on your screen
on
from
my screen.
left to right.
Okay, I'm, like, in the middle in the front doing motions, and I'm on the left.
What's motions?
Um, where
You
you
just
just
picked up the sign, right?
yeah, I just picked up a sign, so now I'm
Gotcha.
doing the sign, the eye sign. And this
Okay.
is
Okay.
called cheer. So this is something you would do kinda, like, on the sideline.
Okay. How long did it take y'all to get this down?
So we started, like, really early last year. We started kinda, like, right after we started in March last year, I think. So, it probably took us 3, 4 months to, like,
Mm-hmm.
get it and then, like, do it without, like, any mistakes. It probably,
Mm-hmm.
um, forever.
Okay.
I mean, we had a few mistakes at prelims, so
Oh man, that is cool. I can't imagine. So I imagine it like, what would you say? People, you know how they do the footprints for dance
yeah.
routines, right? How do you even begin to? First of all, I can't understand how your coaches just go, "Oh, this thing popped in my head. Let me figure it out." How do the coaches themselves remember to even tell y'all what they see in their heads?
I really don't know. I mean, a lot of time at practice, we do video, like, our routine when we do go full out, so that
Oh.
does help, but then also, like, if, like, we're doing it and my coach, like, sees
Mhm,
something, she'll yell it at us, like, while we're doing the routine,
mhm.
or, like, sometimes she'll just, like, stare at you so she remembers.
Why did I imagine like laser beams right through your soul?
And sometimes she just zones out and then she's like, "Oh, I don't know what happened."
Oh no. Oh my goodness. So y'all don't have like any sort of pasties or anything like that on the ground. It's literally just you stand here. Like, how do you keep the spacing?
So on the mats, there's
Uh,
like, panels,
uh,
and so you do it by the
oh.
panels.
So they're almost like markers that like actors would use to stay, in front of the camera.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. And it takes months to learn that?
yeah. Like, we learn it when we first get it, but, like, to actually get it down, it takes forever to have it
Okay.
perfect.
And I'm seeing here uh, the UCA Nationals Award. What was that about?
That is when we found out we got first.
How excited were y'all?
We were so excited because last year we got second, so we're like we were devastated last year, so we're like, "We just have to do it this year."
Mm. Yeah, see, I'm gonna flex my magical powers again and just go right. That's y'all winning.
Yes.
Talk to me about this feeling. Like, what's going through your head? Is it just like ginormous tears of
Yeah,
joy?
it was just tears of joy and, like, we actually did
Oh my goodness, that was an aggressive hug.
it.
Yeah, it's like a mosh pit.
Yeah.
I could put some drowning pool, bodies in the background. So yeah, I remember my senior year when we actually beat Columbia Central. right? Their football team. It was a good year. We beat them in football, basketball, and baseball. We crushed y'all. But that was a long time ago, apparently, because Spring Hill hasn't beat Central in football since, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, in basketball,
Oh,
they have, but
mhm,
that was my freshman year.
your
But
freshman year.
yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah. So, okay, how bad is DK at basketball?
I think he's pretty good.
Ew. Cap, I don't believe it. No, is he tall? How tall is he? Is he
Um,
taller than me?
how tall are you?
6'4"?
He's about your height.
All right. Well, you tell him that I'll still leg sweep him, okay? They'll
Okay.
treat you right, or I'll come down there. Okay. So yeah, it's a weird thing that happens with guys. They usually, I guess the misconception is, oh, girls are all emotional and guys are all physical and tough, and it's like, that's not true. My senior year, we beat Central, and I remember just because it was so emotional and we were down by a lot and came back and won at the end on their field, no less. And I just remember collapsing and I was crying. I'm talking about a good heavy cry, snot out my nose. It was awful. I remember my coach picked me up and was like, there we go. Wait, Dad. Wait. Like super emotional, right?
Yeah,
Cry when we win, cry when we lose because we're so angry. We want to punch something, right? Like we're human.
yeah,
This is one of the things that happens out there where it's like, oh, girls do this and guys do this. And it's like, that's not true. We're all human. We all have feelings. So y'all are crying and, doing your mosh pit thing there. Um, how many of those girls, how many seniors, I want to say, experienced the loss last year and this was their last chance to get
uh,
this award?
quite a few. We had quite a few. We had, like, 6 or 7, I wanna say.
Hmm.
There's a lot of seniors.
Mm, okay. Yeah. That's tough. Year before, my junior year, we lost by 1 point to Central, and I just saw the seniors, and it was like rage-filled depression. I guess you could describe it as. So I always remember that, and like, oh, I wish I could go back and play better because that's it for them. Some of them were not going to play college ball. That was it for them for football forever. And yeah, I couldn't imagine that. Ugh, now I'm sad. Okay, I gotta switch gears here. If a cheerleader falls in the gym, but no one is there to see it, did it really happen?
Nope.
Are you one of these people who believe like we're in a simulation, bro? I'm telling
No,
you.
but, like, I mean, as long as they're not hurt, it's just, like, get back up and finish.
Okay, yeah. Show goes on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so y'all are. I'm trying to really emphasize that cheer is a sport. Like I look at somebody in gymnastics, like oh, what's her face? Oh, I can't think of her name. Gabby something medal, gold medalist. Oh my goodness, short.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of her name either.
Yeah, her. I'm sure the internet will destroy me for this later, but yeah, her. Like that's not easy, especially when they talk about when they do the tumbling, having to not lose your place while you're in the air flipping, so you can land appropriately. Otherwise, you can, really hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Have y'all had any close calls? Like sometimes there's a fall where it's like the whole crowd's like, oh, and everything kind of just stops and gets real quiet.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have had a few. I don't think we've had a few, like, during a competition, but at practice, we definitely have. I've actually hurt myself last year before the end of the school year.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Man, I couldn't imagine. Now there is so this idea that the I don't know if like do the athletes show an appreciation for y'all? Because I will say we
No one
did
likes this.
what?
Yeah, it's just, like, that more last year, like, even the principal didn't really care. I mean, this year, it's like we have a little more appreciation, but still, it's just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well," I
Now, when
guess.
we say appreciation, is it like, um, sort of
Showing that she cares, I guess.
showing that she cares? Oh, that sucks. Yeah. I wouldn't, that's strange for me for the adults. But I remember us in school, like we all appreciated you. Um,
Yeah, no one appreciates us at our school. They're just
well,
like,
okay, you say that, right? But I'm just saying, and listen, it was forever ago. It was literally over 20 years ago. Okay. I don't think much has changed, right? But here it is. I'm gonna give you a peek behind the curtain.
Okay.
Okay. Literally, we appreciate y'all. We used to do this thing where all the seniors were assigned a cheerleader, and they would on game days give us like bags of candy, and we would say thank you. But like we'd kind of get together, like, oh man, what did yours get you? Oh yeah, my cheerleader's better. Like all that kind of stuff. Always behind closed doors, right? And then like there'll be times where I can literally remember feeling bad about how we were playing, and then like go to the sidelines after, because after you switch, right?
Mhm.
And just kind of hearing y'all cheer, and then the fans get into it, and you're over there like, yeah, yeah, let's go, right? And all of a sudden you're hyped up. But like I remember never like saying anything to the cheerleaders
Mhm.
about that. So boys are, I'm not gonna say dumb, but um, I know for me, I found y'all intimidating. You know what I mean? You almost didn't seem like real people, right? It was always like I could talk to anybody outside of game day, but on game day, you're wearing the uniform. It was like, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel that?
Um, I don't really know.
You don't really know. See, and y'all weren't paying attention. So there it is. Y'all are kind of in your own world. We're too afraid to really say thanks, and we really appreciate all the hard work that y'all do because we're not sophisticated in that way yet. We're boys, you know. So maybe that is something you could take back to the cheer locker room and say like, they really do appreciate us. They're just too dumb to express it. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So there you go. See, I'm trying to bridge the gap for you young folks. Okay. It's almost like, there was a time where there weren't cheerleaders for sports. That is something somebody had to create. There was some sort of need there that was filled, and then it quickly sort of morphed into an actual sport of his own, standing all alone. But it does make me think, like if cheerleaders cheered for, let's say, the debate team, what would the chant sound like?
Hmm. That's a really good question. I
Like,
don't really know. I've never thought of, like, oh, if I cheered for, like, a whole different team, like, what would it be?
right, right.
I've only cheered for football and basketball
Mhm.
and then competition.
Right. So can you imagine like, it's the chess club and you're at a tournament and they're sitting there concentrating. It's like LETSGO, let's go, let's go. Right? Like, could you
Yeah,
imagine this? It will feel very out of place, right?
yeah.
You have to switch it up, almost like golf claps, like,
Mhm.
you got this, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like, let's see, do you ever feel like as a cheerleader, right? Like almost too much attention? Or is there such a thing for a girl?
I feel like kinda, like, a little bit. Like, definitely after we came back from nationals, I felt like there were,
Mhm.
like more by, like, teachers, like, everyone just, like I don't
Right.
some of my teachers I don't really talk to, and then they're coming up and talking to me.
Oh,
So it's just like
okay. If you can listen, I'm not gonna do pom-poms again. I've tortured you enough for that. If you can wave a magic wand and change one thing about your high school experience so far, what would it be? What would you do?
change the people, like, have better people at our school.
Better people? What's wrong with the people?
Like, there's just a lot of people that are just, like, rude.
Rude. How so?
Like, they're just always talking like, they want drama, I guess. Them type of people.
They would do what now?
They, like, talk about people and just, like, make up stuff to start drama.
Oh, like rumors.
Yeah.
So bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a rule, and I don't know if you remember this, you were itty bitty, but the young fella, he who should not be named. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I hope you see this. I will find you. Okay. He knows who I'm talking to. But when y'all were little and I used to babysit y'all, he would go, Uncle Jeremy, I'm bored. I said, only boring people are bored, right? And so I made it almost a rule every time he said, and you would never say it. Funny enough, you were very quiet and you were like, whatever, man, I'm just playing with my toys. Or okay, now I'm outside. All right, it's time for home. Like you were just so easygoing, right? But something about him, like he had to be doing something physical, right? He had to be running, he had to be hitting, he had to do something, right? So um the rule became he had to come up with 3 things to do to make him not bored, right? Um, is there something like that that you find in your current, I guess, high school situation? Are you ever the person that has to kind of suggest things for y'all to do, right?
Uh,
Or better yet, do you try to you hear people talking about other people and you kind of like change the subject or make them focus on something else?
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
He made me
sometimes I'll just sit there and listen and let them talk and then just
yeah. Okay. Getting ready to be a good MRI tech, right? Especially being in those boring MRI sections where it's just loud noise, people are nervous, people are feeling sort of anxious, especially if they're there for a really serious thing,
yeah.
right? Small talk is something you're gonna have to use, right?
Yeah.
Right. You're nervous. What's your go-to when you're in the conversation?
Um, just talk about, like, what they do. Like, if you're, like, in a sport, like, what you're
Mhm.
doing in your sport or what sport you play or something
Okay.
like
That's a
or
good
what
answer.
they're doing, like, they're, like, on their weekend or something.
Right. Approach things with questions,
Yeah.
right? I like it. I like it. So you can take that with him too. Grace. Grace is a huge thing that I've learned to use in my adult life, which is just I got this from another podcaster actually. He's sort of I was like, how do you deal with sort of the trolls? Because we get them, right? People who just simply enjoy making people feel bad. And he says, I just picture him as a newborn baby. You know? And as soon as he said that, I literally somebody popped up on our feed and was talking crazy. And I just laughed because I thought, like, oh, it's a helpless baby. Because if you think about a baby, they're just helpless, right? They
Yeah.
don't know how to say, excuse me, I'm ready for my breakfast, right? They cry. If something scares them, they cry. And that's all I see is wah, right?
Yeah.
And so now when I look at people who are being rude and talking about people, I now can give them grace. And I get really curious about, I wonder what made them who they are. And a lot of times when you ask them questions, they don't really have an answer,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah, you were well on your way to be a good MRI tech. So, what are the plans for the future?
Um, just
Next year, your goals are
I wanna do C-state classes that are,
okay,
like, involved with our school.
like a dual credit sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also wanna do work-based.
Ooh.
So
So, okay, because you talked about before we start recording the actual what did you say?
mm,
You put in for a job for some
yeah,
experience. Okay. Does that make you nervous? Like, ugh, adulthood coming. Ugh,
a little bit, yeah.
a little bit. Okay. What's the most embarrassing thing DK did that made you laugh?
Um,
I can see your brain working, and it's just like edit.
um,
How did
just,
y'all get together? Let's hear
uh
this. I'm going full blitz on the embarrassment level here. If I don't have you four shades of red before we end in a few moments here, I have failed at my job. How
We
did
kind
y'all get together?
so we met, like, at, like, a JV game at
Uh,
basketball, the friends, and then we've just kinda talked ever since, and
who talked first?
he did.
Okay, between me and you, okay, just us. Was he goofy? Was he goofy? Was he awkward? Oh, hey,
No, I don't think he was awkward. I was probably awkward.
you were probably awkward. So come on, tell me about the approach. Let's really embarrass him here.
I don't really remember. I was just in t
Cap.
I'm trying to remember. I was just standing somewhere talking, like,
Uh-huh.
and him and I guess one of his friends, and then one like, 2 of my friends just came up to me, and then they started talking to me, and then he
Hmm.
just, like, joined in and started talking, and
Rude. Just kidding. I'm kidding, DK. Okay. So y'all are talking. Do you girls? Did y'all do the thing of like, hey, hey, that guy's coming over. That guy's coming.
I didn't know him before like that, so
Yeah.
no.
No, I'm saying, but they didn't warn you like, hey, guys are
Oh,
walking over.
no,
No.
they didn't.
Okay. So he just rolled up on y'all. Was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the line? Do you remember the line?
No, I really don't.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm gonna just filibuster, or I'm gonna fill in the blanks here. He
Okay.
walked up and said, "I dare do all that may become a man. Those who dare more, there are not. And this is my promise to you from this day to my last." Right? Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Knocked it out the park. Oh, okay, DK. Good on you. Good on you. How long before that, or how soon after that before you thought like, hey, he's kind of, not ugly. How did that work?
Like 2, 3 months after
2 or 3 months.
maybe a little short, more like 2 months.
Exchange information. Did y'all go to the same school?
Yeah, we go to same school.
Okay. Exchange information.
Yes.
Uh-huh. That same day?
No, like, he found me on like, so I had Snapchat, so he found me on Snapchat.
Okay. Stalker then. Okay, got it. DK, I'm just putting pressure on. Okay. All right. So, okay. On Snapchat, it hits you up. Hey, you're that girl from that day.
Yeah.
Go on.
I don't know. I don't
What it hits you with? Like, yeah, you kind of cute. You know,
remember.
you kind of cute. You got a boyfriend? What do you
No,
say?
I think he just started, like, snapping, and then we had, like, little conversations. It wasn't just, like,
Hmm.
full on, "Oh, hey, you're cute."
Okay. Conversation's good? Or was it
Yeah,
like,
I think I think so.
what y'all talk about?
Just, like, everything, trying to get more knowing each other, I guess.
Hmm. Uh-huh. Like, what's your favorite color? Me too. All right.
Mm,
I've got 2.5 shades of red. I'm almost there. Almost there. Okay. So how did y'all become official?
um, I don't
Is
kn
is
we
this
were just
news? Will this be news to DK? Is he gonna be like, wait, what? She likes me? Is he gonna be shocked if he sees this? What is going on over there?
nothing, it's just, like, I don't we started hanging out, and then
Uh,
he asked me while we were out one day.
yeah. He asked you what? Like, hey, would you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm doing that voice for GK. I'm sure you have a lovely voice, sir. All right. I'm a bit of a goof. But yeah, was he like, so what's up?
Yeah,
Basically. And you were like, yeah.
yeah.
And that was it.
That's yep,
And
that
then
was
and then
it.
y'all held hands and started skipping through like beds of like flowers and stuff, right?
Yep, perfect.
Frolicking in the field, just la 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 la. Yeah. Huh. What kind of music you like?
Anything. Like, I listen to
Anything?
about everything.
Okay. You strike me. I wouldn't say quite Sabrina Carpenter. Maybe is it Lainey Wilson esque? A little bit of country, maybe a little pop. Surprisingly, rap. You listen to rap?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. What's DK's favorite music?
Um, all he listens to is Drake, so whatever that is.
Oh, did he not watch the Super Bowl? There was a funeral for Drake, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if he watched.
What does he like about Drake?
I really don't know. I just let him listen. I don't
Oh,
ask
look.
questions.
Okay. I'll let him listen to it. Okay. Okay. That's funny. We got to come up with some jokes about his fandom for Drake. Those dreaded owls over there. Okay. Okay. So, what's one thing he does that like gets on your nerves?
Just knowing he's getting on my nerve.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Got you. So is
yeah,
he one of those like, ugh, he sees that, he's like, aha, I got her. And
yeah.
he just keeps going, piling on? Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm fluid in boy. Okay. All right. So what's one thing that maybe he doesn't know, and this will be news to him? One thing you think is the cutest thing he does that he doesn't, nobody knows. It's just something you notice and you kind of like smile. And he's like, what? And you're like, nothing.
um, I
Uh-huh.
don't know.
Hot seat. Okay, we're at full 3 shades of red. We have one more to go. Okay. Um, is he how is he in school?
He's good in school.
Good in school. All right. Close to his mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he have any siblings?
No.
No sibling. Only child. Spoiled?
Kinda, yeah.
Is he like, like, I don't know what is that voice? That's like a universal, like, ooh, I'm a boy. That's awful. I don't know what I'm doing to this poor kid. Okay. So um so he okay, he does the cutesy thing that she refuses to tell. Can keep a secret, okay. Um he once he figures out, get on his nerves, only child. Okay. Huh. No siblings, only child. Go to his mom. What does he want to do in the future?
I don't know what it's called. It's a whole long word.
It's a whole
It's a really long word.
Do you remember the word anti-disestablishmentarianism?
No.
So he who should not be named had a problem spelling, I think, like toward or something. Like he just couldn't make sense of it. And so he was really upset. And so I wrote out this word, anti-disestablishmentarianism. And we kept breaking down section by section until he could spell the whole thing. And so once he could, anytime I ask him, hey, spell anti-disestablishmentarianism, and he rattled it off, I was like, if you can spell that, come on, right? Yeah. Oh, I miss you guys. Okay. So I'm trying to think of another dumb question to ask. We'll leave DK alone. I think we got 3.5 shades of red. I'll have to do better next time. All right. So let me ask you this about clapping, because y'all do a lot of clapping, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Is clapping just high-fiving yourself for doing a good job?
I guess so.
What an awful question. Okay, if practice makes perfect, but nobody's perfect, why do you still practice?
To be as close as perfect as you can.
Okay, all right, that's a fair answer. Um, let's see. If a cheerleader trips while walking but turns it into a stunt, is it still embarrassing or just impressive?
I guess impressive. I mean, if you don't realize they tripped, then
Mhm. Okay. What's one bit of advice you got from your mom
mom.
that you kind of acted like whatever at the time, but you used it later?
You said advice, right?
Advice. Yeah.
Okay. Probably just like keep your grades up in school.
Mhm. And you're like, yeah, I got you. And then you start doing it, and it's like, Dang it, she was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me now as an old man, right? There have been times where I watch my kids do something terrible. And I think terrible. It's not really terrible. It's just kid stuff that gets on my nerves. And I'll call my mom and it's like, I am so sorry. I had no idea what you had to deal with. Right? I'll call her and like, and she said this and blah blah blah. And she was like, wonder where they got that from. It's like, okay, mom, I get it. I get it. Right? It's all karma. Okay. Tell the people who is no, wait. What would happen if cheerleaders had to cheer in slow motion for an entire game?
It would probably look very stupid.
And you'd be tired too. It'd be
Yeah.
like a bunch of slow motion yoga poses for like 3 hours. That's awful.
Yeah.
If you suddenly if your school mascot suddenly became your personal hype man, what advice would you give? What advice would they give you?
Keep smiling.
Keep smiling. I like it. Okay. I think I'm not gonna do it. All right, I'll let you go then. I guess that's what we'll do. I think I've tortured you enough. You went to 3.5 shades of red. Now you calmed down. One thing you want people to start getting right about what you do as a cheerleader.
Um, just like there's like all different types of things to do while cheering.
Mhm.
It's not just one thing you do.
Okay,
There's more that goes into it, I guess.
man, that is some sage advice. Wow. So we say something similar. It's like cheerleading is what you do, not who you are. Because we do see a lot of, especially athletes like cheerleaders, who, if that's their entire personality, right, once it's over, they kind of are lost. Like, what do I do
Yeah.
now? Right? It's like why retired NBA, NFL players don't do so well once they stop playing. That's good. Oh, man. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to let you have a little bit of the last word, sort
Okay.
of. I'm kind of a liar. I'm going to come back and finish the show. But I want you to tell people something to the effect of, show more appreciation to each other, not just cheerleading, but to each other. I want you to tell the people about, your hopes for the championship next year as a senior, and then shout out now one of your favorite podcasts in the world, Urban Academia.
Okay. Okay, so I think that everyone needs more, like, no matter what you do, just like support others and don't judge them by like what they do, like even like you don't care. And then what I'm hoping for next year for championship is to win again. And my coach is wanting to do traditional, so that would be an extra thing. And hopefully it will be our first year, but hopefully we can still do good in it and win that too. So just win two champions and one in traditional and one in game day again. And yeah.
Your
Um
favorite podcast in the world right now, Urban Academia, right?
yeah.
I'm trying to get you to do a shot. Listen, man, wait. Cut. Okay. Producer, get her out of here. Okay. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm going to try to clip you saying, and thanks for having me on, Jay Zilla, on one of my now favorite podcasts in the whole wide world, Urban Academia.
That's what you
Okay.
want me to say?
3,
Wait, re-say it.
Reset your own words. This is a test. Okay. Listen, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet. Okay. Boom. You see it?
Yep.
Urban Academia. Right? Host Jay Zilla. Thanks for having me, Jay Zilla, on one of my favorite podcasts, Urban Academia. And action.
Thank you, Jay Zilla, for having me on this podcast. And my favorite podcast is Urban Academia.
I bought it. Right? Great. So don't go anywhere. go ahead and hang out in the back room in the green room. Get you some cookies, have some juice and whatnot. Man, I'm gonna finish up with the audience here. So first and foremost, Frap you DK. So okay, I probably wait a minute. Bring her back, producer. Okay, Frap is a family friendly version of the F word and crap combined.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you. So Frap you DK. Um, so okay, no, thank you so much to Raelynn Gates, her mother Amanda, awesome. My main man Herbie and her big bro. We ain't gonna shout his name out. He's probably too nervous for all that kind of stuff. But I love her. I already thinking about the future. MRI tech or respiratory therapist. I mean, who thinks of that? When I was in high school, I was just trying to figure out what the next meal was. Um, I do love how she has the perspective of like, hey, just be like maybe everybody be a little nicer, show a little more appreciation. So there are 8+ billion people on the planet, and if each one of those were nice to just one person, the whole world is a little bit nicer. Everybody gets to experience appreciation. So boys especially, don't be afraid to express yourself and say, hey, thank you. Appreciate what you do. Students to your teachers, kids to parents, parents to kids. Spread the love. Okay. Her and her man, the championship that they won. I hope they repeat next year, even though it's for Columbia Central. Well, I'm so proud of her. For you all who may not know, I used to watch her when she was little bitty, pretty sure pre-K to kindergarten, and the knucklehead who we shall not name. Yeah, I am on your end. Anyway, um, man, I love when young people come by here. I actually learn way more than I teach, which is probably a good thing. To my parents, teachers, coaches, please, please, please. Someone's age does not define their maturity level. These young people have something to say. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We have to do a better job listening. We have a rule in our house that if it's important to them, it's important to me. Get down there and play with the little ones. Go support the big ones at, nationals of cheerleading or a football game. Be okay really listening and without trying to give advice and all that stuff. Try it out. But hey, common sense ain't coming. Join me every week as we try to acquire some. Let's learn, laugh, and grow, and let's do it together. Peace.
For you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you. David Ruffin limelight, this thing